Broadcasting live worldwide.
You are rocking with the best.
And yes, indeed, you are rocking with the best. My name is Edygrim, the Rock DJ, and thank you so much for tuning in to my channel, which is Alpha Wolf Radio Rocks on YouTube, where I do podcasts and talk about rock stuff and also the Kenyan rock scene. But for today, I am not doing something Kenyan, I am doing something regarding the international scene, and I am talking about 2019. 2019, they have it's been quite a year. Yani the year is not over and we have so many awesome albums. I've listened to quite a large ton, and I was like, hey, the year is about to come to an end. I mean, we're in October and December is not that far. So I was like, hey, you know what, I should definitely compile a list of all the albums that have come out in 2019. So thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you who are new, my name is Edygrim, the Rock DJ, and I am a Kenyan rock DJ who just loves the Kenyan rock scene and loves Kenyan rock. And Alpha Wolf Radio is an online channel that is on Mixcloud. If you want to listen to mixes, music, because I can't upload any of that on YouTube, you can check it out on Mixcloud, playlists, mixes, all that awesome rock stuff. I'll leave the link below here, but if you want to listen to some cool podcasts about rock, this is the place. All right, let's get into it. Here is a list of rock albums that have chucked this year. I'm going to mention international ones, and I'm also going to mention a few Kenyan ones. And I'm not going to do a review on all of them because that will make the podcast run forever. But I am going to mention there are certain albums that I'm going to comment on. Those are the ones that I listened to and probably enjoyed a lot. All right, here we go. So for the very first album that chucked this year, we have Within Temptation. Within Temptation have this really cool song called The Reckoning. Yeah, The Reckoning. They did it with Jacoby Shaddix. Jacoby Shaddix is the lead singer of Papa Roach, for those of you who do not know. And Within Temptation have a new album from 2019, and I haven't listened to it, but it's been on my radar. These albums are so many, but Within Temptation is definitely an album. I mean, is definitely a band that chucked an album this year. So if you are looking for new albums you can check out, try out Within Temptation. Next band is Born of Osiris. Born of Osiris is a deathcore band. They chucked an album this year. We also have American Authors. They chucked an album this year as well. We have Weezer. Now Weezer, theirs is a cool story. Okay, so Weezer have two albums that they chucked in 2019. One album is like their own original songs, and then the other album is full of covers. Yeah, it's full of covers. By covers I mean that it's not their original songs. It's songs that they have. It's songs that they have. It's songs that they've done versions of pop songs. So there's one album called Weezer, the Teal album. Yeah, if you just Google it, you'll see it. The Teal album, Teal. That one is one that has all the covers in it, and they've covered Africa by Toto and so many other songs. And then they have an album called the Black Album, which is the one that has all their, original tracks for 2019, including a song that I really love. They're called Can't Knock the Hustle. Yeah, that song has been really popular on radio, and I've heard about it. And then if you check the discography for Weezer, you'll see that even they have another album coming out for 2020. It's called Van Weezer. Yeah, it's scheduled for May 15th, 2020. So that's you can check out Weezer if you're a fan. Next band has to be Switchfoot. I did listen to Switchfoot, their latest album. There is a song by Switchfoot called, okay, so for those of you who do not know, Switchfoot in the earlier years, Switchfoot used to be considered as a Christian band. They still do have some Christian influences in their music, but right now they do more of alternative rock. Yeah, so I've listened to the 2019 album. It's called Native Tongue. It's not like their old stuff, but some of the songs in there are really really good. The album is mostly alternative rock and like pop rockish, and there's a the album is called Native Tongue, and there's a song there called Native Tongue, and Native Tongue is a really good song. There's also a song called Let It Happen. I think they are singles for that album, and pretty good stuff. I won't complain. Next band has to be Bring Me the Horizon. Now, obviously, Bring Me the Horizon is very controversial because they moved from doing metal to pop. I personally do not mind. I know many people might kill me for saying that, but yes, I do not mind that they moved from doing Sempiternal, Shadow Moses kind of music to doing pop, which they do now. But that album is called Amo for 2019. It's not actually their best work, but I listened to it with an open mind, and I kind of enjoyed it. There's some songs in there that are really good, songs like Mantra and Heavy Metal, and which was that other track? Mantra, Heavy Metal. There are many mother tongue. I mean, they're not heavy tracks, but they're kind of enjoyable to listen to if you have an open mind. If you're a diehard metal fan, that album will disappoint you. So yes, Bring Me the Horizon. I've also checked an album for 2019. We also have Papa Roach. Papa Roach. Okay. Papa Roach's latest album, I would say it is a disappointment. It's not, but I know people who said that Papa Roach's album, okay, not Papa Roach's album, Papa Roach's sound has changed over the years, but I don't know. I listened to that album, and it wasn't actually their best work, but I enjoyed it. There's a song in there called Elevate. Elevate by Papa Roach. It's from their latest album. This album that's called Who Do You Trust? Yeah, it chucked this year, and there's a song in there called Elevate. I really enjoy that track. After that, we have Avril Lavigne. You know that album called Head Head Underwater. Yeah, it was like a leading single, and Avril Lavigne has gone purely. She used to have like a punk sound, and then now she has a soft rock, pop rock sound. I don't mind. It's not her best work, but I don't mind. I don't mind her becoming softer. I know it's because she had that she had that thing, that disease that she was struggling with. It was called Lyme disease. Yeah, so I can imagine that probably she's just making a comeback with that album. Is called Head Above Water. So she's making a comeback, and I listened to it. It wasn't that the most enjoyable thing ever, but it's there. Next has to be Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter released 2 Christian albums this year. You can check them out. Other bands involved. There's also Foals. Foals is an indie band. They chucked an album this year. There's also Megadeth. They also chucked an album this year. There's Motley Crue. Now, Motley Crue didn't chuck an album. Really, what they did is there was the movie called The Dirt. The Dirt. That one. It came out with the movie. I'm sure you've heard that one. If you haven't, just go check Netflix. The Dirt by Motley Crue. So with the movie came a soundtrack album. Yeah. And then after that, we have I Prevail. I haven't listened to it because a friend of mine who is a fan of I Prevail said that it disappointed him because I Prevail are doing, he said, quote unquote, pop metal. So I haven't listened to it. But there's a song called Bow Down. Pretty impressive stuff. And then after that, there is Eluvite, whichever way you pronounce it. The folk metal band. They also chucked an album this year. This While She Sleeps, they released that album called Antisocial, pretty good one. There's Sella Darling, there's Rhapsody of Fire. There's also New Year's Day. New Year's Day, the lead singer is Ash Costello. They chucked a new album, pretty awesome stuff. And then there's Rival Sons. They released this album called Feral Roots. And then there's Dido. I know Dido for a long while. She was known mainly for songs like Thank You and Life for Rent and Here With Me, that song for Roswell. Yes, so let's take a break from the international bands and let's talk about the Kenyan ones. So uh, Kenyan bands, we have a few tracks that came out in 2019. There's Kanyeki with Monene Waita, and then there's Straight Line Connection, who chucked a whole album and even did the album launch. The album is called Spaceless. Then we have Refuge, who chucked the EP Haven to a Heavy Soul. And then we have LYT, who are planning to chuck a whole album, but they released that song called Mammoth. And there's even a time I had it on my chart for Alpha Top 20. Yeah, Alpha Top 20 on Mixcloud. Yeah. So let's go back to the international bands. We have Skillet. I listened to that one. What's the name of the album? Is it Victorious? Yeah, I believe the album is called Victorious, and then the leading single was called Legendary. Next band. So I've named so many bands I can't even keep track, but I'm sure if you see a band you like here, you'll get to know that they chucked a new album. So next band has to be As I Lay Dying. Awesome metalcore band, awesome album 2019. You have to check it out if you're into metal. Next band has to be Bastille. They have an album called Doom Days. The song itself, Doom Days, is really dope. Blink 182 chucked an album just the other day in September. I even reviewed it here on my channel. You can check the link somewhere. It should pop up here. Then there's the metal band In Flames. They also chucked an album. There's Korn. Korn released an album. I think they released an album. They released their 13th album on Friday the 13th, I believe. Yeah, I believe that's what they were saying. They were saying that Korn released the album called The Nothing on September 13th, which was Friday the 13th. That was pretty cool. There's a song in there called You'll Never Find Me. Really dope song. Then Kill Switch Engage. That's what I'm currently listening to right now. Kill Switch Engage. They released a 2019 album. Really like that album. Then there's Motionless in White. They released also a 2019 album. There's Pink, who released her album as well. Puddle of Mud. They made a comeback finally with a new album. Then there's Scott Stapp. So Scott Stapp is the former lead singer of Creed. He did a solo album. It chucked this year. You have to check it out. Sleeping with Sirens also chucked something new. Then there is Tool with Fear Inoculum. Yeah. This album, when it chucked, I remember it was trending because apparently it had displaced Taylor Swift off the chart. Is it displacing her or replacing her, whichever? I remember Taylor Swift fans were pissed off because Tool was at the top. Yeah, I believe they were pissed off because this album came out of nowhere and just displaced whatever was at the top. So yes, Fear Inoculum with that was chucked in 2019. And then we also have Slipknot. How could I forget that one? Slipknot with We Are Not Your Kind. I believe that's the name. We Are Not Your Kind, chucked in 2019. After that, we have just two more bands. Now, let me just give, should I say, a disclaimer. These are the artists I've listened to, not at the whole Wikipedia list. Yeah, it's just the artists I've listened to. It's the artists that I have interest in, and artists that are mainstream enough. So it may not be, I don't know, black metal or very deep, into the genres like death metal or whatever. So if I don't mention an album that you've listened to that you're a fan of, don't crucify me, please. I'm just mentioning what I listened to and what I was anticipating. So there's also Kenyan rock band Murphy's Flow. They chucked theirs. They chucked a new album, and I'm planning to do a review for that. So subscribe and turn on the bell for notifications if you haven't yet. And then we have Psalm 41, who also chucked their new album. Yes, sirree. Now as of the recording of this podcast, there are 3 albums I'm waiting for, and those are Lacuna Coil. We have Lacuna Coil are chucking a new album October 11th. The album is called Black Anima. We have my favorite Japanese band. They're called Baby Metal. Baby Metal are chucking a new album October 11th, 2019. And then lastly, we have Alter Bridge, who are chucking a new album October 18th, 2019. The album the album is called Walk the Sky. All right. Those are the albums of 2019 so far, as just my personal ones that I've been keen on. I have bothered checking up on, listening to. Is there an album I missed? Is there an album you've listened to that I haven't mentioned? Please leave it in the comment section below. Have you listened to any of these albums? Have you listened to any of this? Have you caught a new song in 2019 that you really enjoyed? I'm planning to do a full list at the end of the year. I'm at the beginning of 2020. Can you believe we're already talking of 2020? So probably in beginning of 2020 I'll do my top something albums, like top 10 or something. So consider leaving a comment, leave me a comment saying which song in 2019 you've heard or which album you've listened to. I'd really like to know what you think. Otherwise, I don't have much. If you have not seen yet, you can check out Alpha Wolf Radio on Mixcloud. Sorry about that. You can check out Alpha Wolf Radio on Mixcloud. I dropped a Nickelback, whichever you pronounce it, Nickelback mix there, and I also did a countdown for the top 20 songs currently trending everywhere. You definitely check that out. If you haven't subscribed here, you should, and if you haven't followed Alpha Wolf Radio on Mixcloud, you definitely should. I am trying to create an online platform where I can just let you guys know what's happening and create some awareness in this scene of ours. So otherwise, I didn't have much. I hope you're having an awesome day or night, depending on what time you're listening to this. Sorry, I'm choking so much, but yeah, there was a lot to talk about, and I haven't swallowed any water. But I'll keep you posted. Please tap the bell when you subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and God bless. Cheers.